years old and you were sent off to Omagh to school. What was that like? What was Monday morning like?
It was, well, really in the north, and you wouldn't have a clue about this, Jim, to be honest, and nor could you. The northern education system was built on passing the 11 plus.
Yes.
People sometimes are not aware what the 11 plus is. It was an exam that you passed when you were 11 years old or failed when you were 11 years old, which determined what kind of grammar.
And you later got into St. Michael's here in Enniskillen
because of that. Because of that.
Yeah.
But the school that I went to, out in my little home place in Bendeleg, nobody had ever passed the 11 plus. Nobody. Ever. And of course the 11 plus have been going for, I suppose, maybe 15 or 16 years at that stage. And nobody had ever passed the 11 plus. And my father was a thinking man, you know. He worked in the railway, worked on buses, but he was a thinking man. And his big message in life was, better yourselves, get an education, and don't be having to do what I do.
Right.
And that was what he always...
So that was the drive then to send a 9-year-old Brian Darcy
he
away
said,
from home?
He said at some stage, my aunt was up from Omagh and her son taught in the Christian Brothers in Omagh. Apparently she thought I was, in her words, old-fashioned. You know,
as a 9-year-old?
As a 9-year-old.
Okay.
Which I suppose I was...
Isn't that a contradiction today when people say at 71 you're anything but?
Yes, as they say in our country, I was talking when I should have been listening. You know, do you understand? And youngsters in that days listened a lot and spoke little. But anyway, so I was interested in football and I had an opinion about football and stuff like that and so forth at those stage. And I would say I was extremely shy as a young fella, but in certain circumstances, if I was in a conversation, I would talk to my father a lot and others a lot. So, so that's probably where I got it. And she said that boy, if I got him for 2 years, he'd get the 11 plus. So my fate was sealed.
So, as a 9-year-old boy, fascinated by this period of your life where you're away from your mother and your father. Did you miss your mother's love, your father's love?
Didn't know it at the time, but I did.
Right.
I cried a lot on my own.
Yeah.
But of course, a young fellow was never allowed to say that.
Yeah.
You know, and
what did you cry for?
Loneliness.
Yeah.
You're thinking of your other family at home, sitting around a big fire. And you're up in a room 3 stories up, freezing, trying to do your homework. So that's part of it. Yet at the same time, I got an education and an experience that none of the rest of my family got. And
you also got abused. I mean, that was the first time.
Yeah, I was abused quite regularly by a Christian brother. In the beginning, I was so innocent I didn't know what was happening, to be absolutely frank. About it, and I suppose it was happening for a year before I realised that this was wrong, you know, because I had such a view of clergy, brothers or priests, it didn't matter what it was, the respect, and you know, I didn't think they were human actually at that stage, you know, at all, and so you were just, if a brother put you on his knee, so you were delighted as a young fellow away from home. I became his lunchtime recreation. In midlife, I began to see that I was having an unusually bad view of life and stuff like that, and an unusually bad view of myself.